was a lot of what would you call that? Just I would say bad information when it came to this trial. Misinformation.
Yeah.
Right? And I want her to say what her name is. Her name is Sylvia.
Yes, Sylvia.
But there's a name in front of Sylvia.
Infamous.
The infamous Sylvia. She's going to jail. Because she was bothering people.
Oh, God.
Sounds scary, man. You said infamous.
Sounded infamous. And she's from Brooklyn, by the way. When did you start going to this trial?
I started from day one before the actual, right after the indictment. When they started doing the pretrial motions.
Yeah.
In November 2022.
Okay, November 2022.
Is it 22 or 20? Is it 23 or 23?
22.
Wow.
The pre-trial.
Wow.
I told you, man, it was like 2 years.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So at what point, I'm going to skip a little bit. At what point did you believe he was going to beat that case?
I felt it during the pretrial, even when the other ones took plea deals, because the stuff that they were saying was not lining up. But I had counterparts and real national news people arguing with me because they said, "Oh, we seen the evidence," and I'm like, "But it's not matching up."
So you believed during the pretrial that he wouldn't be sentenced for this?
Yeah, I felt it because everything was individuals doing their own thing. Nothing really was him, because most of the time when stuff was being done, he was doing his music.
Okay, when we come back, let's break it down a little bit, Ed.
Let's do it.
We've talked about this trial a bunch of times. But we have an expert here who was there. And I want to know why they sent you to jail. Okay, when we come back, the Chubb Rock Show. We have Infamous Sylvia here. She was part of this trial. I would say she is a what would you give yourself as far as a title?
Trial vlogger.
So a trial vlogger.
I like that.
Okay, I like that. And the fact that you were there from the beginning, pre-trial motions, and you believed at that point things weren't matching up.
Yeah, and that's because I was speaking to the family members. In the beginning, I had placed in a Rule 22, but they were really hard on me, the deputies, because I was independent.
Right.
And they did not want to recognize me at all. Because they have a relationship with the WSB.
Right, the various media. Yeah.
The big media.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this person coming in, who are you, that type of thing. So they placed me upstairs with the family. And that was the wrong thing they did.
Right, because now you was able to build a relationship with the family.
Build a relationship, interact with them every single day. In fact, it was one point I was trying to hear what's going on in the trial, and I kept telling them, shh, shh. And I'm like, who is this woman just coming and telling us to shush? And I was standing by the elevator, and Jeffrey, Young Thug's dad, came by me and asked me, who was I? Was I part of the state? And I was telling him, no, I was not part of the state. And I explained to him why I was there. I was interested in getting facts out of what, everybody's believe one thing, but I came there as a neutral party, wanted to hear both sides. I don't know anything about the music or anything like that. I just wanted to know what the facts was. And I started interacting and learning certain things. One of the first things that I learned was most of the people that was on the case did not know Jeffrey, did not know Young Thug.
They didn't know him.
As an artist, or just as?
No, they didn't even know him. They just put him in the trial with him. They just meeting him for the first time.
So they connected other people that had indictments on them?
Yes, because they came from the same neighborhood.
The same neighborhood, right. I get you.
Cleveland Avenue neighborhood.
And I guess the assumption was he's the head of all of them.
Yes.
Right?
Because that's what RICO essentially is, right? They're proving that he's sort of the boss, right? That he's with his money, his access, he can control these particular people that are in his neighborhood, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow. So they ended up putting other people that they had indictments on with him, and they didn't even know him.
Yeah, not just indictment. They had individuals who had cases that they were found guilty of.
Oh, they already found guilty of.
Because there's some that had on like red jumpers, some had on blue, some had white. So they all had different crimes they had already been convicted of, and they were putting them as part of this case.
We come back. Obviously, that seems crooked. All right, we got more questions for Infamous Sylvia, and I got to find out that real question when we come back. The Chubb Rock Show. Chill. Infamous Sylvia. Fine. We saw it play out 2 years, ups and downs, the changing of judges.
Yes.
You were there for that.
Yes, I was there for that.
Who sent you to jail?
The jail situation had nothing to do with YSL. It had to do with someone who, I have rivals, I have enemies, I have haters. And because I was, in the spotlight, they didn't want me there. So I got a charge against me, which is still pending, so I can't really talk about it.
Oh, no. So I thought it was a contempt of court thing.
Oh, I have something that happened in the courtroom, too.
Oh, wow.
So what happened in the courtroom?
When I was giving nicknames to the jurors.
Yeah, you were giving the nicknames to the
you
jury.
real dug out in the trial there.
Yes.
So you're giving nicknames to the jurors. So let me ask you a different question. Mm-hmm. Have you finally met Young Thug?
Absolutely. I met him inside the courtroom. Now, as far as having a conversation with him, no, I have not.
Not yet.
Family members.
But family members you've spoken to. His dad you've spoken to.
His dad, his mom, his siblings, all of them.
So you mentioned your official title, I guess, is trial vlogger, right?
Yes.
So is this how many of these trial vlogs have you do? Or is this something you do all the time?
You did R. Kelly, didn't you?
I did R. Kelly. I did Cardi B.
Wow.
I did, what's his name? YFN. I did that one. I did, even did the divorce, not divorce, but the child support with Tyrese.
Wow.
I did quite a few. I just can't think of all of them right now.
But they weren't as long as this, obviously.
No, this is the longest one. I did both R. Kelly's, the one in New York and the one in Chicago.
Wow.
And I was there every day for that as well.
For the R. Kelly one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. Do you think that at some point they're going to refrain from having this new lane that you have created and only stick to the big media outlets? Or you think they're going to hate on you in the future and say, you can't come?
I think it's because I like to get in the trenches of things. I like to get, I even did some of like investigating the area where the crime happened and stuff like that. I was doing all of that.
Wow.
So, and then I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I was talking to both sides. So.
Because you're impartial. You're just getting the word out to the people that are interested in the case.
Yeah, and with news, they only do pieces of stuff. I stuck with it from the beginning all the way to the end,
right, and
told the inside, middle parts, and things that regular news would even think about, where regular people would ask about.
Yeah, because they're just sensationalizing things and not really. I got a main question for you when we return. All right. And the fact that people will see you more and more in the future, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Right. The Chubb Rock Show. Chill. We've been talking to the infamous Sylvia, and...
So not throwing trial vlogger, because,
Trial vlogger.
You might think we're talking to a criminal right here.
Yeah. No, not a criminal.
Mafia or something.
Yeah. Trial vlogger.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of her, because you can be intimidated when you're involved in these kinds of cases. Mm-hmm. You could even be threatened if you're going to be in these kinds of cases and put out information. So do you believe, if you had the opportunity to speak to Thug, would you have told him to take that plea deal?
I would have told him not to take it.
Because you believe that he was going to be found innocent, not guilty. Clearly, it was 2 years of his life. Mm-hmm. Couldn't make money, in prison, and I think he just got tired of it.
He got tired, and then his children were being affected by it.
And his children, right. And they just said, hey, Let's get something out of him.
Yeah, and then he had his mom. She was there every day. She's in a wheelchair.
Wow.
She was there every day. And
Because it seems like he comes from a great family, right? Very supportive family. His mother's there, his father's there, his children are there. But you would have told them not to take it.
Yeah. Because I saw it. I was listening to the public. I was listening, and I watched the jurors. I watched how, it was draining on the jurors as well. So, and I don't think they could keep up with all the stuff that the state was throwing out at them.
Sequestered for 2 years.
Well, they weren't sequestered.
Oh, so they weren't sequestered.
No.
So they still was able to be a part of the community and get whatever information they were going to land upon.
Because it didn't go to the case never went to them. It never switched to the jury, right? Because he changed his plea, right?
For him.
Right, for him. Right.
But everybody else.
But when I heard, because the jurors are now speaking, they were saying that nothing was connecting to him. It was other people doing stuff, which is what I was saying from the beginning.
They were doing stuff. He was making music or traveling. They didn't have anything on him except somebody was telling.
A lot of people was telling.
No, I'm talking about not people that are not connected to him, like people that just didn't even know him.
The people that
were
close
connected
to him.
Right,
Yeah.
they were telling.
A lot of them was telling. A lot of them was telling.
Did they tell in the court, in front of him?
Stories started changing when they got in front of him. Yeah. But there was interrogation videos that was shown. A couple of it got leaked to social media. Yeah. And we saw it there.
Wow.
Infamous Sylvia. All right.
Before we get out of here, I have to know, and I'm sure this is going to be, but there's a big case coming up next year in New York City.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Are you really going to go?
Did he?
Yes.
She's going to go back home.
Oh, man.
I'm going back home to do it. Did he? Yes.
That's going to be a long trial, though.
Oh.
And she's coming back here because I want to know. We got to fly her back and forth. I need to know about this case, Duh.
Yeah, but there's a trial happening in Georgia, though, in January about some kids at the supposed a disciplinary situation, but they were chaining the kids. And you'll hear about that soon.
Not bigger than,
not bigger than Diddy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Diddy starts in May.
Yes.
Maybe. I think it's going to be a super indictment. I don't know if it's going to start in May.
You think it's going to be superseding?
I think it's going to be superseding. I don't see it happening in May, but
because they got to bring some more people involved.
You better believe it. It's going to be ridiculous. I think September, October.
I agree.
Yeah.
That give us time to do the other case.
Sylvia, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Coming so far just to hang out with us, man, because people and our listeners have been dying to figure out what the hell was all of this about for 2 years.
Yeah.
In an unbiased way, and I appreciate that you can see from both sides and what goes on.
Yeah, but the victim's family, one of them was not happy with me.
I'm sure.
Not happy. And I feel bad for them, but
yeah.
I just gotta say, she talks so soft, but she's a dangerous woman.
Very dangerous, very infamous, man. All right, thank you very much. Now, a book or something has to come from you at some point. I'm just putting it out in the atmosphere. Okay, look out for the book from Infamous Sylvia. All right, we got more, man.